halls of a Four Seasons loft. In Austin, I saw, pause, my eyes crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Wednesday. Today is like, I don't know, I haven't been getting much good sleep lately, and so it's like I wake up and I'm like, what day is it? Friday? Is it Thursday? Like I woke up today and I thought, oh damn, it's Saturday. I had to get up, and it was like, man, my alarm didn't go off, and I was like, damn, man, it's only Wednesday. It's been a crazy week for me this week. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know what the situation is, but I will say this: it's a glorious day for someone, Carmelo Anthony. Let's go ahead and give him his props right off the bat. I think, to me, Melo was one of the elite scorers in history of all time in the NBA. He didn't believe in playing defense. Let's be clear about that. I mean, he would if it's somebody that that he felt that he needed to go against, that would, like him and Kobe would go at it defensively and stuff like that. But not quite on the level Kobe was, but he would have his competitive juices come out against certain players. But overall defense, he did not do that at all. And but clearly a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't see how you stop it now. When he came to Oklahoma City, I think we got the shell of where Carmelo Anthony was. Like when he brought him here, I'm like, why is he coming here? He didn't fit in, and I didn't understand why he was here in the first place. So what's up, Burgess? How you doing, big dog? I didn't understand why he was even here. I mean, great player, but he had passed his prime. Now I would have liked to see him in Oklahoma City when he was 4 or 5 years earlier, when he was rolling for the Knicks, when he was really rolling, like when he was at Denver. The playoff games with him, the Lakers, him and Kobe going at it, and then with him, of course, going to the Knicks. And it's I saw a thing about that today that this is marks the anniversary of him scoring 50 against the Heat today. And of course, he's one of the top, or one of the 17 people who are on the list to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. And let's say congratulations to Carmelo on that and him being elected to the Hall of Fame. I wanted to get that out because I think that's something, because our show is, it's a sports show, but let's face it, it's about basketball right now. When it's football, I give football the love. But right now it's about basketball. And I'm a basketball guy. I'm not apologetic for it, but we're going to talk about basketball. Now when football, the draft comes up, yeah, we'll get into detail about the draft and we'll do all that. We'll give it a little love, but right now, it's about the Thunder, and it's about the men's Final Four, the women's Final Four, and it's about the playoffs, NBA. That's what we're talking about. And if you don't like it, okay, we'll go and watch somebody else. Go do that. But the thing is, me right now, let's give Melo his props for being like when you go back and you look at some of the 17 on the list. I looked at Melo, I was like, yes. You look at certain guys, yes. Like when you D-Wade, there's certain guys, yes. First time they come up, your first ballot Hall of Fame, 100%. D-Wade, first ballot Hall of Famer. LeBron, first ballot Hall of Fame. Kobe, of course, got in before he was going to be. He would have been voted in, but of course he got in because he died before he passed away before his time. But it was going to be like that, okay? So to me, I look at that and I'm going, okay, I believe in Deion Sanders, what he said. If you say someone's name, like I say D-Wade, yes. LeBron, yes. Jokic, yes. SGA, maybe. KD, yes. Booker, I don't know. Let me possibly. But there are certain people that to me are automatically boom, they're in. And Melo was one of those guys. And if you watch him play, you'll understand what I'm saying. So, yeah. And I don't know how you feel about this, Burgess. You might key in, you might get in the chat, you might say something about this. And by the way, guys, go like, subscribe, hit notifications on the Unpopular Hour, and you can come in and chime in. And Burgess, I want to hear what your comment is on this. I am so wore out. We talked about this yesterday. Draymond Green, of course, runs his mouth about, the NBA players and, today and yesterday. It's like, I went off on it yesterday. I'm so wore out with him. Wherever show he's going to be on, I'm not watching. He is a guy, to me, he was one of the dirtiest players, and him getting all this love, and people just forget what he did. How he kicked Steven Adams in the groin multiple times. Us in Oklahoma City, we remember that. What he did to LeBron, how he cost the Golden State Warriors, who had the best record of all time in the NBA. How he cost them. How did he cost them? Because of what he did by kicking LeBron and getting kicked out when they were up 3-1. They had beaten him by 20 every time they played him. They would have won Game 5 easily. But he did what he did. But everybody lets it go. And so I don't let stuff like that go as a player. I'm out. And I'm wore out with him coming in and act like even Baron Davis was on there with him. Oh, I disagree with you. I'm like, and Burgess can testify to this. When somebody's on my show and you're in my chat, I'm going to say, yeah, I disagree with you. And I'm going to say why. But if you have a legitimate point, I'm going to go, wow, you know what? You're right. I have no problem with that. If I'm wrong, I'm going to admit that I'm wrong. I was wrong about Chet. I was wrong about A.J. Mitchell. I'm very rarely wrong, but when I am about stuff, I will admit it. But I know people who will never admit they're wrong. I've had friends who tell me, man, I don't care what you say, you're never going to change my mind. I go, well, if I'm never going to change your mind, what are you talking about? Why are you even talking to me then? Because to me, about growth is about you realizing somebody else makes a better point than you have made and realizing that you're wrong and being able to admit it. That's being a better person. That's standing up. That's being grown. That's being grown up. That's accepting when you're wrong. And if you're wrong, admit it. Hey, I was wrong. Now, it's hard for me to admit that when I'm wrong, but I do admit it when I'm wrong. Not very often, but it is. So to me, this whole, like I was watching Stephen A. this morning, and Molly and him, he was sitting there trying to make a point, and the young people, clearly Molly, they don't get what he was trying to say. All he was saying was, and like I said yesterday, there are guys who had to have jobs outside of playing NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball. They had to have jobs in the offseason to be able to feed their family because they weren't making enough money. But everything they went through to build up to where the next generation can be more successful and get paid. Then the next generation. This generation is all about me, 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 me. You're all over the internet, you're all over this stuff, and so you have all these things. Let me see. Burgess says, in my opinion, each era of basketball set the NBA a new direction. And in many ways, you can say the old generation passed the way for the next generation. Yes, paved the way. 100%. That's all I was saying. And for these guys to come in and say Giannis is going to score 100 points and back in the day, no, he's not. He's going to get put in the ground. He's not scoring no 100 points. He's not. But for them to dismiss Anthony Edwards, dismiss Magic, them, and like Magic said, dude, win a chip, then come talk to me. I got 5. Come talk to me then. And for them to say what they say against our generation when I played, I'm going to say this. I ran a 4.4 40, had a 48-inch vertical. Batted 400 playing baseball. I consider that pretty athletic. There are tons of athletic guys who were back in the day who could play very easily today. There are guys who the great superstars today could very easily play back then. Are they going to create the numbers they did before? No, because the time is different. Like Tom Brady, you're not winning 7 Super Bowls. You know why? Because you're not playing 20 years. You're going to play 13. So whatever you had after 13 years, Brady, or 14 max, that's what you're going to have because your body can't put up with the abuse. Now, I'm not trying to take away from today's generation. I'm saying, listen, y'all have it better than we did. Let me see. Burgess says when Braun made that comment on the older generation, that was completely disrespectful. That's all I'm saying. Don't disrespect me, homie. You come play. I can play when you play. When you play now, I can play easily. You can't guard me, can't hold me, can't push me, can't grab me. You can't knock me down when I go to the paint. Really? I'd bust y'all's ass. Now, that being said, LeBron could play in yesterday's generation. Brady could play. These guys can come back and play back then, no question. But are they playing 20-something years? No, they're not. Everybody forgets LeBron could not shoot until his last, 5 years? Before that, he's going to be broken down because he's going to get the shit beat out of him going to the basket. Come on. And that's all I'm saying is you don't discount what happened before. Like, for example, I can't tell you the number of times you get stuck in the airport. And, the women were just griping about this 2 years ago. About how they travel, they had to do commercial, and can't leave. You got to stay in a hotel. You're in an airport for 4 or 5 hours. And those of you who travel, you know exactly what I mean. Sometimes you get into an airport, you're there for 2 to 3 hours before your connecting flight. So, it's a completely different thing when you got to play in 3 different cities in 3 different days. You got to get up early and catch the very first available flight, or catch that flight that night after the game. Be able to fly and get in the middle of the night, play early the next day, turn around and you got to catch that flight right after that game, and then you play the next night. Now, you guys private. You can fly out tonight. You can fly out in the morning. You can do whatever. Technology's better as far as getting your body healthier. I tore my knee up, my MCL. I had to be in a cast for 6 weeks. Now you tear your MCL, you're back in 8. So I was in a cast for 6 weeks. Then it takes you another 6 weeks or 2 months to build your muscle back up before you can even do anything. So let's not compare eras. Let's compare. Now, great players can play anytime, 100%. But the whole bottom line is this. Players today are not going to do the numbers and stuff that they have today back then. Why? Because of the physicality. Like someone said that Steph Curry would average about 17 points a game. And I said, I think maybe 20 because he's small and he's going to get hit. He's going to get taken out. And once you hurt yourself, I'm going to tell you, if those guys back in the day, they were dirty. I don't know if dirty is the word, but if you were hurt, they're going to do that. I'm not going to say some guys don't do that today because they do. But there was nobody who intentionally, there was some guys like McHale when Kurt Rambis, when he clotheslined Kurt Rambis. In today's game, Kurt Rambis would have been, Kevin McHale would have been out of the NBA Finals. All he got was a tech then. Clotheslined him. Changed the whole series. Then the Lakers went from finesse, let's get up and down the court, to physicality. Changed the whole series. And I'm just wore out with these guys talking about yesterday's generation. When I played, stop it. We were the only thing different between them and now, there were more athletic guys than they are now. Than there was then. Way more athletic guys. Way more. But I'm around enough of you, half of you, you can't even use your left hand. So you're not more fundamentally sound because you can't use the opposite hand. If you're left-handed, you can't use your right hand. If you're right-handed, you can't. How many guys you see going to the basket using their right hand? They very rarely use their left. The great ones use either hand. Kobe, LeBron, Michael, Magic, Bird, all the great ones like that. Tim Duncan. They use either hand. These guys can't use either hand today. And I'm saying this. You're making more money, generational money, because of the simple fact of what people did before you. And as I said yesterday, what the hell are you doing for the next generation that's coming up? The All-Star game is basically it's nothing now because of y'all. And it's just sad. You're getting, back then you had to play 82 games. There was no 70 games and all this other stuff. You played hurt too. You ain't got to play hurt now. You have all the things, the benefits that help you all succeed, and then you're gonna beat up guys who are back before you? Really? And I can promise you, Draymond, your ass ain't you ain't you come back then. Come on, man. Come on. And they compared him to Dennis Rodman. Yes, I believe that. He's not the rebounder Dennis Rodman was, without question. Is Draymond gonna be a Hall of Famer? Yes. If you win 4 chips, you're gonna be a Hall of Famer. But remember, he got rid of Kevin Durant. Why? Because he was irrelevant. It went from Steph, Clay, him to KD, Steph, Clay. He was not a mention. Burgess says, "You give me an old school lineup for Prime Shaq, Prime Jordan, Prime Magic, Prime Isaiah Thomas, with the Pistons, of course, Prime Larry, and Prime Kareem and Bill Russell, Prime Stockton. My first two off the bench." Oh my gosh, that's a good squad, bro. That's a good squad. But you're too young. Clearly, remember Dr. J, because my starting five is Magic at the point, Michael at the two, and then you can pick one. Dr. J, Larry Bird, or LeBron. Pick one. Don't care. My four is Tim Duncan and KD, who will be my guy. And my number four guy is Kevin McHale. Those are my three number fours. And then my center is Kareem. And then I can't put Shaq in there. And the reason why I can't put Shaq as my top center is because he didn't play. He wasn't dominant long enough. Had he been in shape and been serious about the game, then I would be going Shaq 100% because he was the most dominant center that we had seen since Wilt. Just dominant. But the difference is Wilt did it over a long period of time and was in shape and was committed to it. Shaq was trying to be a rapper and all this other stuff. So that's why I don't put Shaq in there. Hakeem, what he did and how he was crazy. So I have Kareem. I have I'm talking about guys who could play any era. Okay, which is Kareem. I've got Bill Russell because Bill Russell's going to D you up and he's going to block shots, and he's got 11 rings. I don't give a shit when it was. That's a lot of rings. And then I'm going to get my boy Hakeem Olajuwon. Now, I have to put Jokic on the outside because he is just the first point center, whatever you want to call him. He's incredible what he does. He's absolutely incredible. But that's another problem I have with us versus them. Shea could go get 60 and 70. When you have 20 points in the first quarter and then the coach sits you for 7 minutes, nah, you're not going to do that. Nobody else is going to do that. Hey, my superstar, he's rolling. Let's go with the 7 he can score. That's not the Thunder. That's not how the Thunder look at it. They put team above individual, whatever, and that's fine. But that's also going to get your ass beat. So that's being said that. But anyway, all I know is today's players are more athletic overall than the players when I played and before me. The players when I played and before me were more skilled, not skilled, but yeah, skilled. And this is why. Athleticism 100%. But how the hell are you skilled and you can only use one hand? You can't use your left. How many times you see guys come down and shoot a left-hand teardrop, left-hand floater? That very rarely happens. Kyrie does it. SGA can use either hand. LeBron can use either hand. Luka can use either hand. There's certain guys can use either hand if they're pure scorers. To me, that's skilled. Not somebody who's not athletic and go between the legs and dunk. That's athleticism. Skilled is being able to use either hand at the basket. You can't tell me there's more guys today than back then that could use either hand. No way. I watch basketball all the time. No way. No way. That's clearly the mailman, and Ace is going crazy because his mailman is coming up, so he's going crazy. That's who's barking in the background. But anyway, so that's my take on that. I'm done talking about that. Okay, but I'm sure one of these new guys are going to come up with some more nonsense. Ugh, sorry, I had to go on my rant. I'm sorry, guys, and I apologize for that, but it's just frustrating to me. Tonight, the Thunder have a huge game against the Pistons tonight. And 8:30 on ESPN. Thank God we can listen to ESPN and listen to some. Hopefully they have the good guys on tonight. And I want to say thank you to the Thunder announcers It's a floater. Quit calling it a damn push shot. Thank you for being update and calling it what it is, Matt Pinto. Thank you. Don't try to make up shit that ain't real. So anyway, thank you for that. But thank God it's gonna be, and hopefully we'll have the good ESPN crew that will have Grant Hill tonight, so we can actually get some real insight on what the hell's going on in the game. Love him, and plus he's former Pistons. Pistons 42-33, which is crazy. I looked at that and I'm like, is that right? 42-33, is that number right? That is just, to me, it's just crazy. When I look at that number, I'm like, how the hell are they 42-33? You would not think that they would be 42-33. You know, there's no way you would think that. You think, nah, there's no way that they're there. I mean, when you look at them, you're thinking there's just no way that they are at that level. No way, but they are, and what they're doing. The Thunder, of course. Well, we're 63. What, Matt? Well, get your numbers right. What the hell is wrong with you, son? How do I not have my numbers right on that? That is just terrible. That's because that was from the other day. So let me fix that. We are 63-12. I don't know because we have. I don't know what the hell I was doing right there. I apologize for that. How am I gonna get the numbers wrong for my own damn team? I think I was so crazily over the fact that the Pistons were 42-33 that I lost track of what the Thunder are currently. And remember, the Thunder. I mean, because there's 7 games left. Okay, and so the Thunder are sitting where they are with 7 games remaining. And we're gonna go over what our 7 games are, what the records are, who is doing what. We're gonna go over that because to me, I sat there and I looked up today. We're gonna go over the brackets and we're gonna go over who's playing who. We're gonna do all that. But the Thunder is 63-12 right now. Okay, and we're 13.5 point favorites. Over under is 232.5. I think it's gonna be over that. I think what is that, 115, whatever. I think the Pistons are ready to go at us, but that I might take the under in that because Stewart he's doing his 2nd game suspension tonight, so that's going to help us quite a bit not having him in there. So I don't know how much they're going to be able to score, but I think they're going to really come at us really, really hard. But it's going to be a great game anyway, and the Pistons are trying to get better seeding in their division in the Eastern Conference because that's going to matter. Okay, that's going to matter, but the Thunder are sitting good, I think, right now. And when you look at what our next 7 games are, we have the Pistons tonight. Then we have the Rockets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of our next 5 games, which is the important part of our schedule. Starting with the Pistons tonight, you need to win that. And whatever I've always said, protect home court. Protect home court. Protect home court, everything else takes care of itself. So win tonight. We play the Rockets on Friday night. Then we have the Lakers Sunday, Tuesday, and then the Suns on Wednesday. And remember, SGA will probably be breaking Kevin Durant's current mark of, I believe, it's 72 straight games that he scored 20 points in a row. So he should be breaking that night, which is awesome. If I get all my numbers correctly, which I may not have, in that. So that's important to do that and lay it out the way it is. But we should handle our business tonight. The Rockets, they're trying to hold on to number 2, Burgess. I believe the next 4 games will be televised games. Well, the Rockets right now game is not on TV that I know of, and both Laker games are not on TV as I know of. And being a 7 o'clock game on a Friday night, it's either got to be 6:30 or 8:30, Burgess. And then the Lakers 2:30 game is a perfect ABC game, and I don't know why it's not on ABC yet. And I'm sure they're going to probably put it on there because of the 2:30 time. And then the 7 o'clock game on Tuesday, I don't know. They may move it to 6:30 or whatever, but I agree with you. Those games should be all in, but the Suns are sitting where they are at the end of the bracket, so I don't know if that's going to work. But I agree with you. I was like, why the hell the Rockets game? They would probably be flexed. I hope so. I hope so, Burgess. Because to me, how the hell is the Rockets game? That's a huge game. They're sitting number 2, and they're only a game ahead of the. Let's go ahead and pull this up so we can see the standings. Okay, guys, let's do that so you can see. Okay, The Rockets are sitting at 14 and a half. They're a game and a half of the Nuggets. How is that not an important ass game? Okay, number one. The Lakers are one game behind the Nuggets for third place. We played them twice. How is that not important to have on TV? The Warriors are sitting there 2 games behind the Lakers for fourth. The Grizzlies and T Wolves are both 19 and a half games. So from third place, let's go third. Let's go fourth place. Well, we might as well go third. You're talking about 3.5 games, and we're gonna go over this after the break, and then we're gonna go into detail about all this Burgess. I was gonna go over all this because I did some research on everything, so we could kind of get a better feel for what's going on. But each of these teams, this is where they sit, and then we're gonna break down where each team is and what the games they have remaining, and then we're gonna break down the overall record. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do our. We're gonna go ahead and take our break and give our sponsors some love. Then we're going to come back, guys, and we're going to talk about this bracket and what it means and who's going to play who. I want to take this opportunity to thank SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit my guy Mark Long up. They love to take care of you over there, especially if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county. They love to make sure you have clean drinking water because, as we always say, who the hell don't like clean drinking water? And then, of course, Oak Grove Trucking, my guy, Jose Fierro. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our guys up over there. They love to take care of you. Y&B, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into one of the 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma, and YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40. Can't miss it, right in front of the hospital. You cannot miss it. It's just literally right there. You cannot miss it. Right in front of the hospital on Garth Brooks. And, of course, YB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur, which is the one I always go to because it's just closer to me to do business with those guys because it's in Bethany and it's not in Yukon, so it's a little bit easier for me to get to and from. So that's the bank that I use myself. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. They've always told me, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. And I do. And I just think they have some great smelling perfume. They've got some new scent that's coming out. Go by there, see my girl Beth over at the Penn Square Mall, Dillard's location. Should take care of you. And then also, you can go to the women's store. I don't have anybody over there, but we're trying to do a live stream there for Creed. For them, I've talked to Tanya, and she's going to talk to them about letting us come in and do a live stream there in Penn Square Mall, there in Dillard's. If we can find a little space to do that, that'd be great. But anyway, guys, hey, I'm telling you what, it's some great smelling stuff, so come by and check it out. By all means, they are fantastic and they are great. So now, back to the main thing that we're thinking about. Okay, now we do have a 3-game lead over the Cleveland Cavaliers as far as number 1 overall seed, which is what we want. Because, like I said, you have to protect home court. And you want to have home court. You have to protect home court. Now, that being said, we lost to the Mavericks in the second round last year at home, Game 5. And then, of course, we lost to them on Game 6, both of those games. Game 5, I'm 100% blaming on the coach. Game 6, 100% blaming on the coach. Because, number one, you don't change lineups in Game 5, the most important game in a Game 7 series. And in Game 6, if the guy makes all 3 free throws, you don't ask your star player. If you do, he's going to tell you that he touched him on the hand. Okay, boom. Did you touch him? If you touched him, no, it's a foul. Did you touch him? So I got to ask, did you touch him? And if you touched him, then, okay, we'll go ahead and play through. If they score all 3 free throws, we're down 2 with the ball at half court, and he's one of the greatest. He's one of the best, but he's one of the best out of bounds play callers in the league. 100% Dagnall is. He's great at two things: developing talent and out of bounds plays, out of timeouts. He is really, really good at both of those things. So, anyway, so that's what those two things I blame on him for those two reasons. So you have to protect home court all the way through. Okay, you have to protect home court all the way through. And the way I look at it is this: we have home court advantage. We're sitting here really, really pretty. Okay, this if the playoffs happen today, here's the brackets. And if the playoffs happen today, okay, these are what the brackets will look like. All right. The Thunder would play the Clippers. The Rockets would play the T-Wolves. The Lakers would play the Warriors. Excuse me, the Nuggets would play the Grizzlies, and then the Warriors would play the Lakers. So we'd have a tough series, which I think we'd win in 5. 6 would be ridiculous, but we should beat them in 5. I believe we win 3 games at home. We win our first 2 games at home. We steal one of their games, either game 3 or game 4, and then we come back and win game 5 at home and close the door on them. Lakers and Warriors, that would be a hell of a series between those two. I don't know who would win. I believe the depends on how great Steph is and how Jimmy Buckets does what he does, playoff Jimmy, whatever you want to call him. But I just think the Lakers in that first round, they're going to be tough to beat because LeBron would be fresh and Luka would be fresh, and I think they'd be rolling. So I think the Lakers would probably take them if I had to if you hold a gun to my head, that's what I would say. Then the Nuggets and the Nuggets would beat the Grizzlies in 5 easily, if not 4. Sweep them. Then they turn around and have to play the winners of the Rockets and T-Wolves. Would be a knockdown, drag-out fight. It just would be a knockdown, drag-out fight. That's what I look at. And look at those teams and how they would fight. In the East, you really have the Cavaliers and Celtics. Everybody else is, I think they did. What was that? I forget who won. What did somebody do? They did I believe the Pacers and the T-Wolves, I think, have the same record. The Pacers are 4th in the East, and the Wolves are 7th in the West. Same record. Isn't that crazy? Tells you the difference between the two conferences and where they are. So, now, that being said, let's go back and let's look at the NBA standings. We're just going to do the West, okay? And I pulled up all this stuff. Burgess, and you can give me your comments on this too. Okay, I'll pull this up today. Okay. The Cavs and the Thunder, first of all, the Cavs own the tiebreaker against us, okay, which is important. If we both end up with the same record, okay, tied for the wins and losses, okay, that's what happens. Now, like I said, we have a 3-game lead, and I just showed you earlier who we have left. We have this 4-game stretch. If we go 3-1 or 4-0, it's over. 3-1 and 4-0. If we go 4-0, it's over. Because then we can afford to, let's go 5-0 if you had the Suns. So we've got the Pistons, the Rockets, the Lakers twice, and then the Suns. So let's go 5-0, 4-1 at worst. Okay. Well, I believe we should go 5-0, but you go 4-1 at worst. Okay, so that puts you at 67-13 with a 2-game lead. Would still have a 2-game lead over the Cavs with the Jazz and Pelicans left. So the Thunder should handle their business really easily, I'm thinking, if the coach plays the right players and he doesn't get caught up in his feelings and trying to play J-Dub the same amount as SGA and does what he does, we're not going to lose. But him sitting SGA for 7 minutes and all, if he cuts out all that, the Thunder are going to ride through this easily. And by the way, congratulations to Coach Dagnall being the coach of the month again, back-to-back months, and SGA being player of the month again. He was player of the month in November, player of the month in December, and now he's player of the month in March. So 3 of the 5 months that the NBA has been playing, he's been player of the month. So once again, how the hell is he not going to be MVP? That's just pathetic. I mean, I like Jokic, and I understand what he's doing, but we're 15 games ahead of him. How can he be player of the year, MVP over a guy with 15 points ahead? So now, that being said, let's get into the Rockets and what they have left. Okay, now I'm not saying that they're going to bump. We've already got the number 1 seed. Okay, so that's done. So let's talk about what the Rockets have left. Because remember, they only have a 2-game lead, a 1.5-game lead over the Nuggets. And they have a 2.5 game lead over the Lakers. Remember, the Lakers play us twice, so we can really have something to say about that. So, uh, let me see the Cavs first. I'm sorry, guys. The Cavs play the Knicks twice, the Pelicans twice, and the Bulls once. So they could very easily lose one more game. So I think we're going to have the number one overall seed. That's just kind of what I think, because, and by the way, the reason why they do have the tiebreaker against us because they have a better record against the East than we do against the West. Because what are we, 28-1 against the East? Only lost one game. We got one game left. So we could go 29-1 against the East if we beat the Cavaliers tonight, the Pistons tonight, which is crazy. Crazy. So let's go to the Rockets. They have us Friday. They have Golden State. They have the Clippers. They have the Lakers. And they have the Nuggets. So of those games that I just said, those 5 games, they have a 1.5 game over the Nuggets. Okay? So of those 5 games, they've got to go 4-1 to have any kind of chance. Now, here's the problem that they face. The Nuggets are trying to get them to get up to second. The Lakers are trying to move up. The Warriors are trying to move up. And the Clippers are trying to move up. And the Thunder, we're just kind of whatever. So we're sitting there in the driver's seat, but I still think we want to go in to the playoffs with momentum. So we're not trying to let anybody beat us, right? So the Rockets, what are the chances of them still finishing second? They got a good chance, but maybe. Then let's look at what the Nuggets have. The Nuggets have Golden State, the Pacers, the Grizzlies, and the Rockets. So the Nuggets by far have the easier schedule because the Grizzlies, they're sitting there at 6. The Grizzlies, they're not. The Grizzlies aren't. They're done. They're done. And then, by the way, Burgess, I'm going to ask you this. What the hell is up with Ja doing the gun thing towards the Warriors bench last night? What the hell is he doing? The hell is he doing? What is up with him and the guns? The Bloods have already said, bro, come out here. We'll show you what it is to be a gangbanger. You want to be? Come on, we'll show you what it's like. You out there living what every young black man would love to be, have hundreds of millions of dollars, and you over here trying to be a gangster, pointing guns at people because you think it's cool. The NBA is they're gonna slap you with another. They're gonna suspend you again. How much money do you have to lose before you get over this attitude? Once again, younger generation, they don't get it. But he's got so much money, he's like, what the hell? What's another 4? What's another 5 million? What's another 10 million? What's another 20? I've already lost 70. What difference does it make? Or 50 or whatever the number is. Dude, I just don't get y'all. I don't get it. So to me, the T-Wolves are going to be gone. Excuse me, the Grizzlies. They're going to fall out. Okay, they're falling out. So I'm not even going to count them really. That's a victory for the Nuggets. So I believe the Grizzlies are going to replace the 6th place. And behind them, you got the Lakers. And this is what the Lakers have left. They've got Golden State, who is sitting there on their heels, 2 games behind them. And remember, Golden State has to play the Nuggets, and they have to play the Lakers, Nuggets, Clippers, and Rockets. So what's the chance of them staying where they are? They probably go 2-2. But the Nuggets, sitting where they're sitting, sitting where the Nuggets are sitting, this is where you're looking at right now. The Nuggets are sitting there with Golden State, the Pacers, because the Pacers, look at where the Pacers are. They're stuck where they are, so that's probably an easier victory for them. And the Grizzlies is an easy victory. So if they're 4 games, tough games they've got left, they've really got Golden State and the Rockets left. That's what they have left. The Rockets have a far harder schedule with the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Clippers, Golden State, and us. The chances of them going 2-3, they can go easily 0-4. They can easily go 1-4 or 2-3 easily and drop the 3rd or 4th. Easily, because I can promise you the Lakers are moving up, and the Lakers only have Golden State. They have us twice. They have the Mavericks, and they have the Rockets. So you got to figure in their next game they go 2-2. So this 2 through 7 will change like a mother. And the T Wolves really only have the Bucks and the Grizzlies. So the T Wolves are going to move up. They're going to move up to sixth or fifth or whatever. They're going to move up without question. I don't want the Grizzlies to move up. I mean, the T Wolves to move up too far. I want them to be in sixth or third. Because the thing is this, the T Wolves and us in a 7-game series in the second round, that's going to be a battle. I don't really want to see them then, especially after them having the confidence after coming back. Burgess says, in his opinion, depending on the Grizzlies organization, you pull the plug on Ja Morant to add depth on the bench. I'm not opposed to that. Taylor Jenkins, they got rid of him, the coach, because he was about backing Ja. But I'm just sorry. Dude, I don't understand that. Why are you pointing fake guns at the bench? What are you doing? The NBA is trying to get away from that, and you got in trouble for it already, and you're going to do it again, and you got suspended how many games, and you lost how many millions, and you still ain't learned your lesson. But once again, he has to deal with the ramifications of that. You have a shoe by Nike. You get suspended again, guess what? You ain't gonna have you have one shoe, that's it. You're done. I don't understand what the hell he's doing, especially with your team sitting there in sixth place, tied with the T Wolves, half a game behind the Warriors, and then half a game in front of the Clippers. You can fall to eighth really, really easily, Grizzlies. And do you really want to see, or you want to be in the play-in? Do you really want to see us the first round? A team you haven't even come close to beating? And when you look at the Lakers, when you look at Golden State, they have the Lakers, they have the Nuggets, they have the Rockets, and they have the Clippers. So the only the easiest schedule out of all of these schedules is the Nuggets. They have Golden State and the Rockets left. That's all they have. So they could easily move up to number 2. The Rockets, I believe, won't probably drop lower than 3 because of the simple fact of what they have left. They've got us, they've got Golden State, they got the Clippers, they got the Lakers, they got the Nuggets. So they're going to have to win three of those games to remain where they are in the top 3. Because if not, then they have us in 4 or 5. They'll be in 4. And then the Lakers or the Warriors and the Nuggets will move up to the 2 or 3. Because remember, the Lakers have a 2-game lead over the Warriors. So I believe what's going to happen is, the way that it's looking to me, the Nuggets and Lakers are going to finish 2 and 3. The Rockets are going to finish 4. The Warriors are going to finish 5. The T-Wolves are going to move up to 6. The Clippers will be 7 because the Clippers have the Mavericks twice, the Rockets, the Kings, and Golden State. That's who the Clippers have. So the Clippers can easily move up to 7th. The Grizzlies can fall all the way to 8th or be in a play-in. And let's face it, the Clippers don't want to see us, so they're going to want to finish 7th, which means if they do that, the question for them is, do you want to face us or the Nuggets? Because the Nuggets and the Lakers are sitting right there together. And remember what the Nuggets have? Golden State and the Rockets. So they're going to probably finish 2nd. The Lakers have Golden State, us twice, Mavericks. So we could very easily have a determination on where they finish, the Lakers. And if they finish 3rd, the Warriors are 4th, the T-Wolves are 5th, the Clippers are 6th. Is that right? Let me see. No, the Rockets will be 4th. The Warriors will be 5th. The T-Wolves will be 6th. The Clippers will be 7th. And the Grizzlies will be 8th. That's how I think it's going to play out. And then if that's the case, and I don't know what you think, he went to NBA paid therapy. Is that what Ja did, Burgess? That's what you're saying he did? He went to the NBA paid therapy sessions. Well, okay, that's fine, but he got suspended, and now you're doing it again? He's sitting over there like this. What are you doing? The Bloods have already told you, stop trying to be a gangbanger. We'll come out to LA and we'll show you what that is. But he thinks it's cool and whatever. Plus, you live in one of the most dangerous cities in the United States, in Memphis. The hell are you doing? You have your bros with you. You don't have bodyguards. I just think that Memphis is getting tired of him. And they're not really. I think he's gonna probably get traded. That's what I think. But the question is, what are you gonna get from him and who wants him? Because if he goes out west to the Clippers, and I know definitely not the Lakers, but if you go out west, then what the hell you gonna do? Better stay the hell out of that. You go to Philly, you're in trouble. You go to New York, you're in trouble, bro. Those are real gangbangers. Now Memphis has some too. But I'm talking about the real brothers are right there in LA. The real brothers are in New York. You need to chill out. Go to Florida, chill out. They real down there. So I just don't understand the whole jaw deal. I'm like, what are you doing? You have went from here being possible face of the league to here, what the hell is wrong with you? Millions of dollars you threw away, and your dad is still on the sidelines at games, grabbing his crotch, doing that to the crowd, I mean, come on, man. And it's not like you grew up middle class. You didn't grow up poor. You didn't grow up in the hood. What are you doing? Once again, this generation of players and the stuff that they do and the stuff that they get away with and the stuff that they're doing is ridiculous. You beat up our generation. Talk about we're not athletic and all this stuff. You're crazy. We were athletic, bro. Not as many, but way more fundamentally sound and way more skilled deal than y'all. Now I hear this talking about, they're more skilled. No, they're not. You're tripping. Skilled is, how many of them can use either hand? Very few. All the top guys, I see SGA using either hand, Luka using either hand, Jokic using either hand, Giannis using either hand. What's our guy that just got hurt? Kyrie using either hand. Steph can use either hand. Dame can use either hand. So when you name the top guys back in the 80s and 70s, all of them in the 90s, they can all use either hand too. How are there more? Y'all are more athletic because there's more of y'all, and y'all are bigger, stronger, faster, can jump higher, 100%. But once again, to say Dr. J wasn't athletic, to say David Thompson's still the only one that I know of can pull a quarter off the top of the backboard. Still the only one I know of. None of y'all in today's generation can do that. Y'all run from competition. LeBron, you haven't been in a dunk contest yet. Why? Because you don't want to be labeled as loose. Kobe got in it to prove. Michael got in it to prove it. You the GOAT. Get in there and prove stuff. But once again, he's the GOAT at running his mouth. He's the GOAT at talking about it on TV. He's the GOAT at promoting himself. He's 100% the GOAT in promotion. He understands social media, how that works, 100%. Like him going after Stephen A. Come on, man. All Stephen A. has said the truth. And once again, what do you do? As a man, let me go holler at you personally. Hey, bro, don't be talking about my son like that. Not all in public to make a scene so you can keep your name out there. Talk to the man in private. Hey, bro, talk to him in private. If I got a problem with you, I'm going to talk to you in private. I'm going to holler at you in private. And it ain't got to be some show to be all out here. I ain't got to do all that. I'm going to holler at you in private so we can have a complete understanding of what the hell's going on. But you guys, I'm wore out with it. I am absolutely wore out with it. But back on the positive note, the Thunder. We can go 29-1 still. We're still on the best record ever in the history of West versus East. Still have the whole record for that. Let's handle our business tonight. Then we have the Rockets on Friday. Let's go handle our business there. Then we have the Lakers on Sunday, Tuesday. Let's handle our business there. Okay? Let's worry about what's in front of us. And then SGA, let's break the record against KD's team since he won't be there. Now, whether you're going to break the all-time record, what is it? It's either 90-something or 124. I saw both. Will Chamberlain, I don't know if he can do that. Depends on who we play next year, but that's just crazy. But like I said yesterday, I don't see how he doesn't. If he shoots 15 times, he goes 7 for 4. Let's say 7-15. He goes 7 for 15. Well, actually, he shoots 50%. So let's go 8 for 16. That's 16 points. You think he's not going to make at least of those 8 shots, 2 threes? And if he doesn't, he ain't going to make 4 free throws? So I don't see that unless he gets hurt. I don't see any reason why he's not going to break that record. So that being said, I've got stuff I've got to go do today at the gym. I want to thank everybody for watching this edition of the Unpopular Hour. And remember, everybody go to the game tonight. Play against the Pistons or watch it on ESPN. And Burgess, I appreciate you coming on and giving your stuff in the chat. Appreciate that. And remember, guys, like, subscribe, hit notifications. And if you say something on Facebook, I won't see it. You got to go to YouTube, search. Let me pull that up. So you can search the Unpopular Hour so I can see what you're doing. And that way let me see if it's on here. Where did I put it? Here we go. You can search the Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit notifications. It'll pop up. Or After the Storm tonight. We'll be doing After the Storm tonight. OKC Thunder. After the Storm, OKC Thunder. If you'll do that tonight, hey, we'll be all about it. Get it squared away. All right, guys? And hopefully you guys will do that. Remember, like, subscribe, hit notifications. Also, you can go to www.mcsportsnetwork.com and watch all the former shows and get caught up in them. Of course, we're also live on Facebook as well. So those are the ways to do it. And please, go ahead and like the show because it's crazy because I was saying the other night is that on my YouTube, I looked and I'm like, okay, I have 15 people viewing the show, which I can see, watching it now. Then I had 10 people in the chat, but I had 4 views. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand how that was. I didn't understand how that was at all. Like, I don't get how this has worked out, but my guy Mark Long and I got somebody we're going to meet with to kind of get all that social media. And then plus, we are doing a new show a new podcast that I'm so excited about. And it's going to be pumped up. I cannot wait. That being said,